Good morning. It is just after 8 and we are starting a 24 hours of reading. I'm going to attempt to do the 12 and 12 where you read as much as you can over 2 days instead of 24 hours straight because I sleep, as you can tell. I do have some high priority books to finish. This is the majority of the reason why I want to do this at all. The audiobook As Long as the Grass Grows, which I have about, I think, 2.5 hours total left. This one should be able to finish up fairly rapidly. I do really like it so far. I had it out from the library and then it got taken back before I finished it, and so now I'm motivated to finish it up. It is all about the history of indigenous struggles for environmental justice. Super enlightening, super infuriating. Then other high priority reads, I have the physical book and the audiobook on Storytell of La Azotea, which is a super short novella, super dark, by an Uruguayan author. That one's just kind of like a literary fiction. This one's kind of silly, a manga in Portuguese, like a fan translation of Alice in Borderland. And I thought that I finished the 7th volume like a month ago or more, but for whatever reason I only read the first part. There's like 3-ish parts in them. I read the first part and then I just marked it as read. I thought I'd read the whole thing. I don't know what I was thinking, so I still need to actually finish that, but you know, manga should be fairly quick to finish. Then, you know, I have some other ones that I'm not as far along in, but those are my top priorities for today at least, are those 3, and then we'll see what else we can accomplish. But first we're gonna make coffee and breakfast and listen to As Long as the Grass Grows, and I will check back in. Okay, it is 2:45, just finished La Azotea. This is called The Rooftop in English, I believe. Wow. I saw this review on Storytell that really, not Storytell, Storygraph, that really summed it all up. It was like, this is what we call a feel-bad read. I definitely need to, I don't know, listen to some author interviews or something about this, because it was definitely very well done, but I would like to know what exactly she was trying to do with it. So it's very, like, nothing happens really. You are in this apartment with this woman, her elderly father, and she is pregnant and then has a baby, and she's clearly unwell. Yeah, just kind of the walls are closing in the whole time, and it's very dark, very disturbing, but also very like calm, you know, like it's not horror whatsoever, it's just disturbing. So yeah, very weird read. I do want to read more from the author, but I wouldn't say I was obsessed with this. You know, well done, I guess you could say, but that's, yeah, I don't know. So I did listen to maybe like an hour of the audiobook this morning. I have had a couple distractions. We had no internet installed, and then also I fell asleep. But we're still doing well. We finished a book. I think we are going to go to the library again. I have a book to pick up, not a fiction book. It's a language learning book. But yeah, we can listen to our audiobook, take a little gander outside. Since I moved again, my cat has been, she's happy in general, but she's had a lot of separation anxiety. So I'm trying to, even in the days that I don't have something where I am gone for a long time, I'm trying to leave for short time so that she gets, you know, accustomed again to the routine of me leaving and coming back, and, you know, it not being a super stressful event for her. So we'll turn her little cat TV on and just not be gone for too long. I think that's all the updates that I have. you can do a library haul. So of course, since I'm trying to finish books, I had to get some more books. The hold that I went to pick up was the Everything Learning Brazilian Portuguese book. I am very passively learning Brazilian Portuguese just through listening and reading, because if you already speak Spanish, you can understand a lot. So I kind of just want to like read through this, not necessarily do exercises and stuff, just kind of get the crash course of things that are going to be different. Then I stopped by the Spanish section, and I actually got two really good finds. So this one is on Storytel, so I was going to read it there. There's the audiobook and the ebook on there, but of course I always prefer to have a physical copy if I can. And this one is a short story collection from a Bolivian author, and I have not read anything from Bolivia yet, so this will cross off a country on my list. And also it just sounds really, really good. I think it's like horror sci-fi potentially. Then surprisingly, another country to tick off. This is a bilingual short story collection from the United States, from the state of New Mexico. And I've never ever heard of this. I just saw it at the library and thought, you know, what the hell, why not? So it actually was published in 1964 by a professor of Spanish and Portuguese at the University of New Mexico. So it's supposed to be about the kind of Spanish-American life in that time period in New Mexico. Seems super easy. It's like one side English, one side Spanish. So that's cool. I would still like to find more modern, potentially, books written in Spanish from the United States if possible, but still really cool that this exists and that it just was waiting for me at the library. Then I only let myself go down one other aisle because I knew I could just keep piling up books, and I could have, there were so many more that I also wanted to get, but I restrained myself and I only got two more. From the horror section, The Trees Grew Because I Bled Heat there. This is an author that I've wanted to read from for so long, and I don't know, it's pretty short. I could also listen to it on an audiobook, so it just seems like a good time to finally pick it up. And then this is I don't know how to say this, baihe? This is like a danme but sapphic instead of So I was like, yes, absolutely, sign me up. So it's like two warriors something. I don't even know. I was like, I didn't really need to be told too much more. So yeah, excited about this. It's called The Beauty's Blade. So that's the haul. I think I'm going to finish my manga now, the Alice in Borderland in Portuguese, just kind of hopefully knock that out, and then we'll see what else we can do tonight. Okay, I finished my volume of Alice in Borderland, but I also discovered that I am much farther behind in that series than I thought that I was, because the English volumes are 2 in 1, but the fan translation I was reading apparently was not, so they were following the Japanese volume schedule, so I'm like half as far as I thought I was, but that's okay. It was just funny. Very unsatisfying because I had already marked that as read a long time ago, obviously, on my storygraph, so all I did was change the date of when I finished it, so it doesn't take off a currently reading. It is 7:30. Let's see, I have about an hour, a little bit less than an hour left of my audiobook, so I can probably finish that tonight. I can't decide if I'm hungry or not. I had a salad earlier, but yeah, anyway. So if I make food, then for sure I will finish that. The next book that I was hoping to read for this is Jade City by Fonda Lee. So I have read like 6% of this maybe. And yeah, so I do have the audiobook from the library as well, so I can read at the same time or switch off. I would like to read most of it physically because I've tried to listen to this before and I just was not like, sometimes I need to at least start a book physically or like pay a lot of attention at first to the audiobook, because if I don't like get the characters and the world kind of sorted out, I just get lost. But regardless, I think we're going to try to finish the grass growing book. As far as how that one is going, it's good. I was reading some of the reviews on Storygraph, and like half of the reviews say like, this is just an overview, I would have appreciated a lot more depth, and then half of them say like, it's so information packed that like it was hard to like focus on or whatever. So you really just can't please everyone. I think she did a really great job. I think it's a she. Whenever the narrator is one gender, I always assume the author was, which is probably not a good assumption to make, but I think that the book does a really great job of, yes, providing an overview that is not super in-depth on any specific thing, but it's still informative, you know, like I had heard of many of the things, but not all of the things that it's talking about, and I think I'm still getting things out of the book. So yeah, it's definitely not like a comprehensive book, but of course it's not. It's like a, I don't know, 9-hour audiobook or something like that. Like it's not gonna be like a university degree on the subject. Anyway, we will reconvene back here, hopefully having finished that, to start working on Jade City. Okay, finished the audiobook. It was super good. I don't really have anything to add to what I said before. I think it was a really good, like, kind of introduction. Like, I don't think you have to be a complete beginner, obviously, but like, yeah, very good. And I think also it was good. It kind of called out some things that I think people still, myself included, still do today, where like exoticization or fetishization of the noble savage and stuff, where that still comes up today a lot in environmentalism, where people have this idea of indigenous customs and stuff like that, but they're not actually like engaging with real indigenous ones. And yeah, so anyway, they're more concerned about the idealized theoretical version than the actual real one that's still here. I am going to read Jade City, but I remembered that I do want to do a little bit of German study, so I am reading a children's book in German. So I'm going to do that for just maybe like 15 minutes, and then I'm going to take a shower, and then we'll get into Jade City. It looks like it's like midnight already, but it's only 9:15, so we should still have time to get a little bit more in tonight. Long time no update. I think it's 3:30. I am halfway through Jade City. I did kind of get distracted at various points this kind of morning, early afternoon, but not for too long, so we are still chugging along. I am super into this, really enjoying it. I do think I'm going to go on my little trip today though, because I need to continue my cat's exposure therapy. Also, I'm really bored of all of the food options that I have, so I think it'll be good to stop at another store. I think I'm gonna go to Trader Joe's. I wish I had been a little bit more on top of things this morning to move this along. I could always just stay and do this tomorrow, but I am feeling a little bit claustrophobic after just hanging out in the house for a long time. So yeah, I think we'll go somewhere, but yeah. Ciao. Okay, hello. Took a little spin around, looked at Barnes & Noble for like an hour. That's a really large Barnes & Noble, so it's always really fun to see all the things that they have there. They have a pretty pathetic Spanish section though, which is kind of sad, but then I went to Trader Joe's. Didn't film there at all because it was very overstimulating as it generally is. Do a snack haul. I did get some groceries also. Didn't mean to bring this into my room, but got some chai. These mango things. I love these, and I haven't had them since they came back. These Aussie style chocolate cream sandwich cookies. This was an impulse buy up by the register, bought milk chocolate bar with cornflakes. These lemon scones, I absolutely love glazed baked goods. I'm such a sucker for a scone. So right now I'm gonna eat my bagel, and reading update in case you were interested. We are 79%, only less than 2 hours left, so we should be good to go. I love this book. It's so good. If you like political fantasy, this is a great one. It gives me big Poppy War vibes, but much less, so far at least, much less unhinged than the Poppy War. I don't want to say that too soon. It does take a while for shit to hit the fan in the Poppy War. But this one, yeah, it's much less gruesome so far, but it gives vibes, you know? Super, super enjoying it. Can't wait to finish it. So let's do it. Finished. It is so good. I definitely think I want to read the next book. I mean, not like immediately, but like maybe within a month or so. I don't know. So good, and I definitely want to read it also like relatively quickly, like stay super immersed, because I think that's a good way to experience these. Like, they aren't so complex that you need to like spend a lot of time with it. Like, I read the 5th season all in one day, and I think that was good, but that's a very, very, very complex story, and I don't think this one is as complex. Like, it does start off a little bit slowly, but it's not, there aren't as many moving pieces, different perspectives, that kind of stuff. Loved it. It is $8.50, but I think I'm gonna try one more thing. I got an arc from NetGalley, and it's super weird because it is the grimoire edition of Atelier, which I am watching this anime. This is the manga that it's obviously based on. So the grimoire edition is like the bind up, but this arc only has the first volume. So the arc, for whatever reason, is not the bind up. It's very confusing. But regardless, I haven't read any of this. I've only seen some of the anime, so I was like, well, sure, I'll take the opportunity to read the first one and up my NetGalley response score. So this should be pretty quick to read, so I think I'm just gonna try to knock that out also. Okay, we did it. So we are all done. In summary, we finished the audiobook As Long as the Grass Grows, hopefully. Really, really good. Definitely recommend. We finished The Rooftop by Fernanda Trías. Recommend if you think it might be your thing. My brain is addled now. If you think it might be your thing, it's well written. If you don't enjoy kind of dark taboo discussions, don't read it. Finished Jade City. Definitely the bulk of our time. Loved it. I would say probably if I rated things stars, which I don't, I would probably give it like 4 stars. Oh, and we finished the 7th part, not 7th volume in English, 7th volume in Japanese, Alice in Borderland yesterday. And then the first part, or first volume in, I truly lost my brain, Witch Hat Atelier, successful in my book. But yeah, this was super, super fun. I have been bad about, I have been reading a lot, but I haven't been making time for huge chunks of reading, which I really enjoy. So I want to get back into doing that more. So this was a good reminder. But yeah, let me know what you've been reading lately, if you have anything good to recommend, and I will see you in the next video.